Hi Gandhi class, welcome to your first Talk for Writing lesson this week. And our learning objective for today's lesson is, can I write out the text map? So today we're going to be writing out our text map. Remember, we're looking at an explanation text. But before we begin, what are our everyday writing skills? Please can you get yourself a whiteboard and a whiteboard pen or a paper and a pencil and write down what you think they are. This is going to be our success criteria for today. So pause the video to do that now. Okay, so check your everyday writing skills success criteria against my expectations. Are there any you've missed? If so, please add them onto your list. So we need to see neat cursive handwriting. Punctuation must be used in the correct places. Capital letters must be used in the correct places. Make sure that you read back through your work just to check that it makes sense. And take your time to really think about what you are writing. Don't rush. So let's read through our text map together again. Make sure that you include the actions as well, as this will help to remind you what each part is.
What changes happened from the Stone Age to the Iron Age? Have you ever wondered what life was like in Britain for the earliest humans? Read on to find out about the changes that happened in the prehistory of Britain. Timeline. Stone Age. In the early Stone Age, people were hunters and they found their food by roaming from place to place in different seasons. In the late Stone Age, the way people lived changed a lot because they began to settle into farming villages instead of moving from place to place. People started to look after animals and grow their own crops. Bronze Age. When people discovered how to get metals out of rocks, a metal called bronze replaced stone as the best material for making tools. People were therefore able to build better farming equipment and also began to make bronze weapons and jewellery. When people died, they were buried with their most important possessions. Iron Age. In the Iron Age, a metal called iron replaced bronze as the main material for making tools and weapons. People lived in tribes and were often at war with each other. As a result of all the wars, Iron Age people began to protect themselves by settling in hill forts, which were groups of round houses and farming land protected by stone walls. This period of history ended when the Romans invaded Britain in AD 43.
Before you begin writing out the text map, I'm going to model part of it for you so that you can see exactly what yours should look like. Now, you are going to need a pencil, a ruler, and a purple polishing pen for this task. If you don't have a purple pen, that is absolutely fine. Just use a pencil or a pen of a different colour, as you'll need this to help correct any mistakes that you may have made. So I'm just going to share my screen with you, my book. And the first thing we're going to do is start off by writing our title. Now, our title is What Changes Happened from the Stone Age to the Iron Age? So at the very top here, on that top line there, you're going to need to write the title. Remember, you need neat, cursive handwriting. Okay. And it's a question, so we need to end it with a question mark. And because this is a title, we need to make sure that we use our ruler to underline it. So you need to make sure that your ruler is neatly under the writing. Spread your fingers out across the ruler to give you more support when you draw your line, and then very neatly draw it in. Now you may have noticed that my title has gone on to the next line. That's absolutely fine. It is a long title. Okay, so the first bit is our introduction. And our introduction is, have you ever wondered what life was like in Britain for the earliest humans? Read on to find out about the changes that happened in the prehistory of Britain. So let's start off by writing that first part. So I've got the title, I'm going to leave a line, and then I'm going to start writing. Remember to start writing by the margin if you've got one in your book. If not, please make sure that each sentence does start at the same place under one another. So, have you ever wondered what life was like in Britain for the earliest humans? Okay, let's read back through that to make sure that we've got our correct punctuation, capital letters in the right places, and that we spelt all correctly and it looks all right and makes sense. So, first things first, I haven't started my sentence with a capital letter, so I need to get my purple polishing pen and put in a capital H. Have you ever wondered what? Oh, I've spelt what wrong. So I need to put a neat line through it, just one line, you don't need to scribble, and then write out the correct spelling above. Okay, have you ever wondered what life was like in Britain? Britain is a place you need to have a capital B. Britain, what life was like in Britain for the earliest humans. And this is a question, so I need to make sure I've got a question mark at the end. Okay, let's go on to our next sentence. So it's read on to find out about the changes that happened in the prehistory of Britain. So let's begin. Read on to find out about the changes that happened in the prehistory of Britain. Okay, let's read through this to make sure that this makes sense and everything is where it needs to be. So, oh, again, I haven't started my sentence with a capital letter. Every new sentence needs a capital letter at the start. So let's change that. Read on to find out about the changes that happened in the prehistory of, again, Britain needs a capital, and I forgot my full stop. So there we go. That's our introduction done. Now on our text map, we have got a diagram of a timeline. So it's got the heading timeline. So I'm going to leave a line and then do the heading, which is timeline. And I need to make sure that I underline it. Okay. Now, with the timeline, you will need to use your ruler to draw it out. I do not want to see any drawn with a free hand. You must use a ruler. So I'm going to draw a line underneath, and I'm going to do it as, let's do it 19 centimeters long. So make sure it's all joined up from the 0 to the 19. Fantastic. Okay. Then I'm going to draw my lines in on the side, again using a ruler. And then that's going to be the birth of Christ one. I need three there. I need one here. And one there. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to start by writing here where it says the birth of Christ. Okay. And then the first one, I'm going to put the date, which is 500,000 BC. The next one is 2000 BC. And then the next one is 700 BC. Then we've got AD 43 and AD 410. And then remember this part here said prehistory above it, so I'm going to neatly write prehistory. And then here it said history. And then for this bit here, it was the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, the Iron Age. I remember that lasted from here all the way into AD 43. Then we had the Romans and the Saxons. So that's what your timeline should look like. So as I said, I've done mine from 19 centimeters long, and then I've added in the bits where they've needed to go. So please do make sure that your timeline looks like this as well. Right, so the next section is Stone Age. So I'm going to leave a line and then go on to the next one because it's a new section. We also need to make sure that we draw our picture here because we've got a diagram. So again, using my ruler, so I'm going to leave a line and start about here. I'm going to use the ruler to draw my diagram. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, my pencil broke, 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. My pencil broke, so I've just sharpened it again. It's nice and sharp now. So as I said, we're going to go 6 lines down. Doesn't need to be too big. And then I think I might do 4 centimeters across. 4 centimeters across, and then 6 lines down. And then in this box is a picture of a Stone Age hammer, and then it had it written there as well. So you can use the text map to help you draw that. And I'm going to do the Iron Age section now. So I'm going to start, sorry, the Stone Age section. So I'm going to start it next to it, capital S, Stone Age. This is my subheading, so I need to make sure I underline it. Okay. Now, the first sentence that we had for this bit, I'm just move my book up a little bit, there we go, was in the early Stone Age. So let's start. Capital I, because remember we start our sentences with a capital. In the early Stone Age, people were hunters and they found food by roaming from place to place. Okay, and that's a full stop there. Let's check with our purple polishing pen. So in the early Stone Age, oh, we need a capital S and a capital A. And because this is a fronted adverbial, we need to make sure we've got a comma in after it. So in the early Stone Age, people were hunters and they found food by roaming from place to place. Oh, I've put a full stop, but I haven't finished my sentence. So roaming from place to place in different seasons. There we go. Now I can put my full stop in. Then we've got in the late Stone Age. In the late Stone Age, and remember it's comma because it's a fronted adverbial. The way people lived changed. And then I'm going to start underneath the picture here a lot because they began to settle into farming villages instead of moving from place to place. Full stop. Okay, let's check that. In the, oh, I don't need a capital L there, so let's go over and make it a lowercase. In the late Stone Age, the way people lived changed a lot because they began to settle into farming villages instead of moving from place to place. Okay, so that is part of the text map written out for you. Can you now please write out the rest of the text map, including that first bit, using our success criteria to help you? Please make sure you upload your work to Tapestry Gandhi class, and I'll see you next time. Bye.